Welcome on into another edition of Surviving the 2023 Philadelphia 76ers. We're back again talking about this team. Why? Because we're crazy. Why not? Let's get into it, man. Let's get ugly. Let's get creative. Let's get fun with it like we have done all season, because this team is in a rut, and if you don't, you're going to lose your mind. Just like this team has lost 12 out of the last 16 games. Tough loss last night. We knew they probably didn't have enough to beat Boston, but the way it went down at the end, we talked about this more last night. It was rough. It was rough. How are we feeling? Because let me tell you something. We're going to try to bring a little beam of light today. We have a Joel Embiid injury update, kind of, sort of, whatever, and we'll talk about a potential signing that will save the Sixers season and lead them to glory. And we'll also talk about the play-in tournament. What? The play-in tournament. We'll get into it all, man. Philly Take with RB. Appreciate everybody tuning in. You know what to do. Hit the like button, subscribe to the channel. This video is brought to you by BetUS. Use my link down below and get a 125% deposit match bonus up to $2,500 on your first 3 deposits. Use my link down below because they're the best doing it. Let's start off with our boy Tobias, man. Let's get the doom and gloom out of the way. We've already talked about him enough. And Tobias Harris on his game last night, quote, "I've got to stick with it. It's just a bad shooting night, a bad stretch for me as a player. But at the end of the day, I've still got to take those looks, be confident. It's frustrating, but I'm going to battle, get through it, and figure out ways to be better watching film, find ways to get into a rhythm." I mean, give him credit for saying that. That's all he can really say right now. What else is he going to say? I mean, he's been absolutely putrid. He has been absolutely worse than worse. This might be the worst stretch of his entire career, and it is coming at the worst time, especially for him with his impending free agency, especially with Joel Embiid out for the Sixers. This is not the time you want to go into this type of rut, and he has just been unplayable, literally unplayable. But anyway, we got that out of the way. Let's talk about Joel Embiid. And shout out to Philly Sixers Galaxy, always capturing the great quotes. There was a clip that came out yesterday from Adrian Wojnarowski. People tag me in every Joel Embiid injury update, and I appreciate that. I enjoy it. But at the same time, anybody else getting tired of hearing these rumors and reports without actual reports, right? When he got injured, they said, yeah, we're going to know by Saturday. Then we're going to know by Sunday. Then we're going to know when they go in and operate. Then they went in and operated and said, we'll know in 4 weeks. Now it's another week. Adrian Wojnarowski says the Sixers are still optimistic that they can get Joel Embiid back. I think there's some hope they can get him back on the court by sometime in late March. The goal here is not necessarily to try to bring him back and see how many regular season games you can win. The goal is to get him as healthy as he can be for the postseason. We're probably about a week away from him getting an update on a timeline. So everybody tagged me and they quickly reacted to this news and they said, RB, we're going to be saved. Joel's coming back. And people have been frustrated with a lot of different takes lately from a lot of people. But my viewpoint on it is, again, sure, you get Joel Embiid back. Number one, you have to stay afloat in the time that it takes him to come back. Right now, the Sixers are falling. They are sinking fast. They need to make changes. Have to hope you can get him back and the team stays afloat and they don't fall to the 8 or 9 seed. But number two, again, this is a tough injury. Sure, he may come back. Is he going to be 100%? Is he going to have time to get into his rhythm? Is he going to be able to be MVP, superstar Joel Embiid? It's just a tough ask. Now, I'm not putting anything past Joel Embiid because the guy is an absolute star and he has done this with other injuries. But I just know as a person, and I know it's probably taking a toll mentally on him, it's just going to be tough. So what do you think? Should the Sixers even bring Joel back at this point? Should they even try to go in here and run into the playoffs and hope that they can find some magic? Because even in this clip that I was listening to when Woj talked about this stuff, he said, yeah, the Sixers might be a nightmare first-round playoff team or a play-in team. And it's like, yeah, maybe. But the thing that people neglect to realize is that it's not only Joel Embiid. The Sixers, again, have other deficiencies. And we go back to the trade deadline, and this is why I was frustrated because, again, they didn't address all of their needs. They have a lack on perimeter defense right now. Their wings are just absolutely brutal right now. We know about Tobias Harris, the big issue. There's just a lot. There's a lot, and I hope that they can find ways to get it together I mean, now D'Anthony Melton's probably going to be out more time, and there's issues with him. It's just tough, man. You've run into a lot of injuries, sicknesses, etc. this year. And it, for a team right now that is actually only a half game up in the 6th seed and potentially might fall to the 8th seed. They're only a half game up above Indiana and Orlando. And in about a week, they could be in the 8th seed in the play-in if they don't pick it up. So it's just tough for a team that felt like they were locked into the number 3 seed. The one thing that people keep responding to me with on these reports, which again, they're not really reports till we find out, but now they're saying, yo, we should try to tank for the play-in because we'll be a dangerous team. And now people are saying if the Cavs finish number 2, the Sixers can try to get a matchup with them and then avoid the Celtics to the conference finals. Look, man, here's my stance on it. I'm tired of doing that. I'm tired of going that route, thinking that way. You have to beat the best to be the best. And we tried this in 2021, and the Sixers got exactly what they wanted, a dream outcome. They got the Wizards, beat them in 5. And then the Atlanta Hawks led to an ultimate choke, and they never recovered. And at the end of the day, man, I just don't want to do that anymore. You're going to have to beat whoever you have to beat. And somebody else said to me, yeah, well, the Sixers can get the play-in so Embiid can get more games to get in a rhythm. Are you kidding me? I don't want to be in the play-in tournament. I mean, that would just be sad at this point. So, look, I hope the Sixers can stay above the play-in tournament and, have an actual series in the first round rather than all this pressure on a game. But we will see how it plays out. One way that they may be able to do it, the guy who's going to save the Sixers season, is this guy right here. Mike Muscala finalizing a contract buyout per Adrian Wojnarowski, clearing the way to be eligible for the playoffs. Mike Muscala is 32 years old. He went to college in PA. This guy is being tossed around right now, and it feels like he's been on every team at this point. Mike Muscala is a free agent. Go get him. Go get him. Ring the bell, baby. Have him come back, ring the bell in his first game. Mike Muscala. Listen, man, in all seriousness, I'm joking, right? Brett Siegel here on Twitter says, keep an eye on the Sixers, Thunder, and the Suns as 3 potential landing spots for Mike Muscala. All 3 teams have an open roster spot and would benefit from adding a big man who can space the floor. A reunion in OKC would be poetic for Mike Muscala. Obviously, he was there when they were down bad and Sam Presti was selling guys off and keeping them in jail. Look, man, if I'm Mike Muscala, and he's obviously just trying to win a championship probably at this point, why would he want to go to the 76ers? Let's be real, man. If he wants to earn another contract, sure, we got a great old backup spot right waiting for you, Mike. Mike. Come on, come back to Philly. It would be poetic. That would be poetic, Brett. That would be poetic. Why do you ask? Because, as many of you know, Mike Muscala nailed the 3-pointer to help the Sixers land the draft pick to get Tyrese Maxey. And shout out to Sean Bernard. I did not know this. This is very interesting as well. And this just plays right into it. The guy that passed in the ball was Darius Bazley on that shot, who's now on the end of the Sixers roster. They had signed him about a week ago. So now we're going to waive Darius Bazley. We're going to sign Mike Muscala. It all just falls right into the beautiful line of absolute nonsense with this organization. And it just adds on again, right? Complete the process. Mike Muscala is the only guy that can complete the process. It is how the basketball gods wanted it to happen. Why not? Why not? Get Mike Muscala back in Philly. Let him play over Mo Bamba, and let's do it, all right? Mike Muscala was traded earlier this year in one of the most meaningless trades of all time with the Pistons trying to clear cap space, and they had traded Bagley, Isaiah Livers in 2 seconds to the Wizards in exchange for Danilo Gallinari, who is now on the Bucks, and Mike Muscala. So Mike wants to play for a contender. Sure, in any right world right now, he's going to choose OKC, but why not? Come on back to Philadelphia. Here's why, in all reality, it would make no sense to bring Mike Muscala back, because this year he has played about 37 games. He is averaging 2.2 rebounds in his last 13 with the Pistons, and he's averaging 3.1 before that with the Wizards. Guy doesn't rebound. Guy doesn't defend. He's not much of a paint presence at all. He's literally just another big that can, I guess, space the floor a little bit. Last year, he was shooting around 39% combined with Boston and OKC. And this year, he was doing really bad with the Wizards, 27.5%. Then he upped it to around 38% with the Detroit Pistons. He only averages 3.5 points per game And for context with the rebounds, he's averaging about, let's just say 3 rebounds per game. Mo Bamba is averaging 3.7 rebounds per game. So that gives you all the context that you need there. However, one guy I actually would take a flyer on, and maybe I got to do my homework and watch some Tony Bradley film. But Tony Bradley, who is in the G League, I believe with the Mavericks now, he played pretty well with the Sixers. Matter of fact, he was beloved by Sixer fans. They were so upset when he was put into that George Hill trade, and it just shows how insane Sixer fans are, and they just love their players, which I love. But Tony Bradley's not all world or anything close to it. But why not? Why not? Go get this guy out of the G League. Let him come back. See what he can do. At this point, let's just get ugly with it. Let's just have fun. Why not? Why not? Like, at this point, the process is so bamboozled. It is so turned upside down, left, right, diagonal. Who cares, man? Let's just start bringing guys back. And I was thinking about some of the most random Sixers that I could think of. I actually put a tweet out saying, drop your most random Sixer. Like, the names that have come up over these last 10 years, the bodies on this roster are just hilarious. Like, think about these guys, man. I was coming up with Ryan Brokoff, Danny Granger, okay, Norvell Pell, Charlie Brown Jr., all these guys, man. Like, name the most random Sixer of all time you can think of down below in the comments. I appreciate everybody for tuning in. Should the Sixers sign Mike Muscala? Should they bring Joel Embiid back for the rest of the season? Give me your thoughts. And with that being said, everybody have a great rest of their day. Peace.